The morning took flight with Mr. Blue, the neighborhood bluebird and self-declared Lord of the Lawn, flapping about in a full-on breakfast panic. He landed on the railing, fluffed his feathers with Oscar-worthy drama, and glared straight into the security camera like it owed him rent. With a judgmental tilt of the head and a loud squawk, he blurted something that loosely translated to, "This is extremely unacceptable." Then, with a final dramatic tail feather shake, he stormed off the perch like a diva, leaving a bad Yelp review. 20 minutes later, he came flapping back in, clearly hoping someone had tweeted the news that snacks had arrived. Nope. Still no seed, no suet, not even a stale bagel crumb. The betrayal was palpable. He paced the railing like a tiny feathered Gordon Ramsay, chirping insults under his breath. It's raw. It's empty. Where's the flavor? At one point, he tried pecking the doorbell with his beak, possibly to leave a 1-star review. Eventually, he flapped off again, muttering about starting a rival feeder across the street. Honestly, the birds got beef. Or, worms. Perched on the feeder were the house sparrows, chirping loudly like they owned the place. "Welcome to Casa Crumb," squawked Hank, the self-appointed leader of the house sparrows, his chest puffed like he was auditioning for Birdwatch Weekly. First come, first served, wing it or sling it. But today wasn't an ordinary crumb fest. From the east side of the fence came a rustle, a tweet, and a flurry of feathers. Enter the clay-colored sparrows, small, streaky, and subtle, but don't let their mild manners fool you. They were serious about seeds. "Looks like the buffet's already pecked over," said Clara, one of the clay-coloreds, eyeing the feeder. "Should have called ahead for seed reservations." The house sparrows gave each other a sideways glance. "Oh look," Hank snarked. "The beige brigade is back. What's the matter? Did your granola granary run dry?" Clara fluttered closer, undeterred. "We don't need drama. Just some millet and peace." But tensions were rising like a balloon with a feather in it. "Clay-colored? More like clay-colored wallflowers," jeered a house sparrow, pecking dramatically at a sunflower seed. "Well, at least we don't yell at squirrels for fun," muttered another clay-colored under her breath. "You guys have the emotional maturity of a wind chime." Things got serious when both flocks reached for the last black oil sunflower seed. Beaks inches away, talons tensed, wings twitching. Suddenly, from above, a thud and a splat. Everyone scattered as a giant clump of seed cake dropped into the middle of the yard. Mrs. Featherstone leaned out the window, chuckling. "I figured you'd fight over it again, so I made a seed bomb." "You're welcome." The birds looked around sheepishly. "Well," Clara chirped, "guess we all flocked together in the end." Hank sighed. "Fine. Let's call a tweet truce. But don't hog the Niger this time." And just like that, the sparrows, house and clay, ate side by side, chirping puns and dropping seed crumbs like feathered comedians at open mic night. Because at the end of the day, even the fiercest of feeders can become friends. As long as there's plenty of punflower seeds to go around. Mr. Blue squawked from the treetop like a feathered drama king. "Bring me my mealworms. I demand them warm, wriggly, and preferably not making eye contact." Mrs. Blue fluttered in, clearly in no mood. Her wings were crossed, if that's even possible. She glanced at the plate and gasped. "Empty. You mean to tell me you screamed like a seagull at a French fry for nothing?" Soon, word got out, faster than gossip at a birdbath. Birds started arriving from every branch and burrow. Sparrows, robins, even that smug cardinal who thinks he's too good for breadcrumbs. Everyone was squawking, "Where's the worm service around here?" A pigeon waddled in late, looked around and muttered, "Typical. I fly all this way and it's a worm-free zone. I should have stayed downtown, at least the hot dog carts drop something." One blue jay shouted, "This isn't a buffet, it's a birdemic." Another finch complained, "I came for mealworms, not mealwas." Mr. Blue tried to calm the crowd, but it was too late. The flock was revolting. Literally. Someone pooped on the feeder. Birds. Man. Never invite them over without snacks. It was a warm, golden afternoon, and the yard had fallen into that lazy, breezy quiet that only comes after lunchtime. The sun hung low and content in the sky, casting long shadows beneath the old oak tree. The feeder that had hung there for days, looking more like modern art than a food source, empty and swinging in the wind, now glowed with promise. At some point, without much fanfare, it had been restocked. Brimming, in fact. Overflowing with seed like a feathered jackpot. Sassy, a sharp-eyed clay-colored sparrow, was the first to notice. She flitted to a nearby branch, tilted her head suspiciously, and chirped to herself, "Either I've lost track of the days, or someone's playing a very delicious prank." She coasted down to the perch, landed softly, and saw it, a little note wedged between a scoop of safflower and cracked corn. Written in loopy script. "Welcome to the picnic. Seed you soon. Bird, the feeder fairy." Sassy snorted. Cute. A feeder with punchlines? What's next? Comedy crumbs. Just then, the unmistakable flutter of blue wings caught her eye. Benny and Belle, a cheerful pair of eastern bluebirds, came gliding in like it was a date night. "Oh, fancy snacks and a full crowd?" Benny chirped. "I didn't dress up, but I brought my appetite." Belle peered down. "And apparently, we brought our sense of humor too. Look, why did the bird get in trouble at school?" Sassy sighed. "I give up." "Why?" Belle grinned. "Because he was tweeting in class." They all cackled. Sassy tried to look annoyed, but her wings twitched with amusement. One by one, more birds began to trickle in, drawn by the rumor fluttering through the branches. A flamboyant house sparrow named Spike zoomed in next, his feathers ruffled just so, always 5 chirps ahead of the fashion trend. "Now this is more like it," he crowed. "Last week, I was pecking at gravel just to survive." He beelined to the feeder, grabbed a seed, and spotted a fresh joke card. Sassy, now perched above the feeder with a full belly and a happy heart, looked out over the fluttering crowd. "You know," she said, "I thought this was going to be just another afternoon. But this is worth tweeting about." As laughter echoed through the branches and the birds swapped their favorite feathered puns, one last note fluttered loose from the feeder. "Thanks for stopping by the picnic. Hope it was extra fun. Feeder fairy baby chick." And just like that, with full bellies and lighter spirits, the birds settled into the tree, giggling long into the evening.